Welcome back to FM Story. We're in season 2 of our beta save with Manchester United. We're approaching the midway point. The first episode of season 2 was a bit of a disaster. We spent a lot of money and seemed to get worse. We may have started to turn a corner in episode 2. Can we keep that up? Can we get ourselves back into challenging for the top 4? Can we make it through to the knockout stage of the Champions League? Let's find out. Without further ado, get into the action. So, wasn't expecting to be back so early. I was expecting to come back to the Liverpool game at the end of December. However, it's rapidly looking like we might not make it to that. We've played one game since the end of the last episode, and we got beat 4-2 at home by Crystal Palace. They scored goals in the 90th and the 91st minute when there was nothing else we could do to change it. And now we've been told we have to go to a meeting with the board to discuss their confidence in how we're managing the club. Disappointed with the result. We'd like to know what happened. I mean, we didn't have awful luck with injuries, but we did have Lisandro Martinez and Luke Shaw both suspended. I feel if we dismiss, that might not be in our best interests here. I mean, that's us throwing the players under the bus. That's the same. We had injuries and we didn't have injuries. There wasn't really any decisions that were a problem. I can't really say that Crystal Palace are too strong for us because that's pretty bad. We didn't really rest any players. I think we have to go with I made some poor decisions on the day. We understand that people make mistakes sometimes. We won't judge you as harshly for this match we might have done without your honesty. We believe it's important to stay on good terms with you, so hopefully we can continue to work together to build a positive future for the club. So, we appear to have survived that. They're disappointed with the league performance because we're not anywhere near qualifying for the Champions League at this stage. We were competitive in the Carabao Cup even though we went out in the first round. They're okay with what we've done in the Champions League. We need to get back on some winning ways here. We need to put a good couple of wins together. Hopefully, I mean, we've got Brentford, West Ham, Middlesbrough, Brighton, Burnley in the league. Hopefully we can at least win 3 of those 5. And that would hopefully put us in a bit of a stronger position. The idea at this point is to come back for the Liverpool game, but depending on how the rest of it goes, we might be either back before the Liverpool game or out of a job by then. So we've made it to the Liverpool game without getting sacked. And to be perfectly honest, since we had the meeting with the board, it looked like we'd really turned a corner up until our last game. We started off with what turned out to be a pretty comfortable 3-1 victory over Brentford. They did give us some moments of pause when they pulled a goal back, when they equalised just into the second half, but we were able to go on and comfortably win that. West Ham, away, we got off to a great start, goal after 2 minutes, and then basically held on a bit towards the end, but enough to pick up 3 points. We then went away to Eintracht Frankfurt, went down to 10 men, took the lead, they equalised, and then had a goal disallowed in injury time of the first half. We then took the lead again, and then they equalised before they had a player sent off in injury time at the end of the second half. We followed that up with a comfortable 4-1 victory at home to Middlesbrough. I think had we lost that game, then there would have been some serious questions to ask, because Middlesbrough are rock bottom of the table on that point, and I think they probably still are. Still only have 2 points this season. We then followed that up with a game against Brighton, which we dominated, just couldn't take any chances until Garnacho popped up in injury time with the winner. And then the most recent game, we absolutely battered Burnley in the first half, and then they scored, and as soon as they scored, we didn't create basically another chance after that. So as far as the league's concerned, we're currently sat in 6th position on 34 points. So we're obviously in a better position than we were at the beginning of December when we had that meeting with the board. Obviously, if we could pick up a win at home against Liverpool, that would put us in a much better position as well. This is the side we've picked going into the game against Liverpool. We've actually had a bit of success swapping Rashford and Garnacho around. So Rashford coming off the right, Garnacho off the left. Obviously, we had that real pain in the game against Liverpool, the last game against Liverpool, where they got a goal with practically the last touch of the game. Hopefully, a home advantage, we can put in a bit of a better performance today. Right. They've got a corner. Shaw gets his head to it. Rashford brings it clear. Goes long, looking for Garnacho. Mount Garnacho. Looking for Rashford off that right. And they've tidied it up at the back. But Garnacho nicks it before it gets to Trent. Driving towards the box. Can he pull it back? Right, Salah down the right hand side for them. Højlund gets back to win it. Into Nico. Scalvini. Dalot. He looked for Rashford. It came back to him though. Can he get the ball in the box? Pulls it back to Nico. Fernandes. And that's just 1-0 up. Take a deflection. Dalot looked to play it down the line. Jones half blocked. Dalot got it back. Pulls it back to Nico, who moves it on to Fernandes, who takes a touch. And it just goes right between the two Liverpool defenders, and Alisson Becker can't get there. Right, Bruno with the corner. Højlund at the near post. And that's just 2-0 up. Certainly wasn't expecting this. Swings it in. Højlund and Scalvini both go for it with about 4 or 5 Liverpool defenders. And Højlund rises the highest. And there we have it. Half time, 2-0 up. And you've got to say, looking at the match stats, definitely gone with how the play's been. And we just need to make sure we don't do anything stupid in the second half. Things are going pretty well in the second half. They've not had too many chances after those initial corners. We've brought on Julian Alvarez for Marcus Rashford just to get fresh legs up front, the top end of the pitch. They've gone short with a goal kick. Canate to Virgil van Dijk. Into Gravenberch. Joe Gomez at left back. Van Dijk goes back to Alisson. Canate into Szoboszlai. Alvaro Fernandes gets there in front of Salah. Mount returns it to Alvaro Fernandes. Can we cross it? He pulls it across. Rasmus Højlund scores his second of the game with 3-0 up with 20 minutes left. And I don't think even we can throw this away from here. Lovely interception by Fernandes. Mount returns it to him. He fires it across. And Højlund got in front of Van Dijk to turn it home. Szoboszlai back to Canate. Goes back to Alisson. Van Dijk to bring it out. Gravenberch loses out to Rooney Bargy. Back to Højlund. Pulls it back to Wan-Bissaka on the edge of the box. And he hits the roof of the net. And I have to say, that performance was very unexpected. Thought after losing to Burnley that the morale might have dropped, the performance levels might have dropped, but it's a top performance. Got the win. and pushed ourselves a bit further up the league table. We are approaching the end of January and the end of the transfer window. We do have a big game coming up against Rangers in the Champions League. With the way things are standing in the Champions League, we are currently the first of the teams that haven't qualified for the knockout stage so far. We are on 9 points. Rangers have already qualified. We are desperately in need of something in this game because there are a couple of teams. Galatasaray could overtake us. Ludogorets could overtake us. Bilbao could catch us, but probably not based on the goal difference. So there is a small chance that we could not make it through. It's important that we get pick up a win in this next game. Largely since the Liverpool game, we've managed to really use that as a catalyst to turn our season around. The first game after that was a really comfortable win away at Bournemouth, 4-0. We made a couple of changes, but we kept a fairly strong team, bearing in mind that we went out at the FA Cup in the third round last season and hammered Mansfield 6-1 at home. We then followed that up with a really comfortable 6-0 victory over Burnley in the league with a Marcus Rashford hat-trick. And then another comfortable victory over Aston Villa, although we did miss a late penalty, but it was nice and comfortable at 2-0. The Nottingham Forest game, we battered them in the first half and only scored one goal. They then equalised and then went ahead, and we were struggling a bit, and it required a great goal from João Neves to level it up for us to come away with a 2-2 draw. We then followed that up with a trip to Monaco, where we conceded yet another. So at the fourth, fifth time this season, we've conceded an injury time winner in a game. And then in the most recent game, we made it a lot more difficult for ourselves than we needed to, conceding a late goal. But came away with a 3-2 win over Fulham in the FA Cup fourth round, which has actually led to us getting a fairly decent draw in the fifth round as well, where we've been drawn against either Charlton or Plymouth. As far as the league's concerned, we're currently sat in third place in the league. We have played 2 more games than Newcastle, who are in second, and 1 more than Arsenal, who are top, and also 1 more than Liverpool, who are only a point behind us. It's very, very tight for the Champions League spots. I mean, Arsenal and Newcastle are a bit ahead of everyone. You've got us on 47, Man City on 46, Chelsea on 46, Liverpool on 46. So we're doing quite well. We are actually one of the leading scorers in the league this season, despite the fact that we don't have anyone really who's individually hit the high marks like Rashford did for us last season. We have shared them around a lot more this season, but certainly since that Liverpool game, we seem to have clicked a bit, and hopefully we can continue that on into this Rangers game. And there we have it, the end of another episode. And things are in a lot better position at the end of this episode than they were at the start of the episode. It seems we were hauled before the board to explain ourselves after losing to Crystal Palace at the very beginning of the episode. We've made our way up to third in the table. We're into the fifth round of the FA Cup, which is almost as far as we're expected to go. They want us to at least make the quarterfinals. And we've made it into the knockout stage of the Champions League. Things are still going well. There's still a few days left in the transfer window. I think we probably do need to do a bit of business there. We don't have an awful lot to spend. So it might be a few loan deals. But overall, plenty of positives for the rest of the season. Hopefully we can just continue this good run of form into the next episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.